was quite surprised when I saw that press conference. And I was because we've not seen anything like that in the Fourth Republic.
Right.
In terms of a public break with the president from members of from his own party. Yes, once in a while you might get an MP here, an MP there who may say something in the public space, but as a collective group of of that magnitude, it was quite rare.
Mm.
And for me,
and once in a while, when you hear an MP isolated making, taking adverse positions adverse to their party, they get sacrificed. They don't come back to Parliament the next time.
Precisely, right? So this was very different. I don't know how long it had been brewing for them to actually decide that they were going to make this public break with the president of their own party. But again, I think if they look at the economic conditions and circumstances, but I'm sure they also are looking at the political consequences of the economic conditions, and I'm sure they would want to insulate themselves against any political fallout. I mean, I think that is one of the calculations, right? It's like, if you're going to go down, we will not go down with you. But if you want us to stick with you and continue to stick our heads out for you, then something has to give. So that was my initial read of that major public break with the president. What I also found very concerning, though, was that knowing the numbers already in Parliament and the difficulty, for example, with the 2022 budget, when they added the statement, we would not participate in the budget and any other government business, that was when I said, okay, this portends some real political trouble for the president. Well, subsequent to that, there was the meeting and then a report that they are holding off on those demands. And so again, my take was, okay, probably they've come to some compromise behind closed doors. The president has given them some assurances, as the Honorable said. A series of events have to happen, upon which then the president has assured them that he would act upon their...
So to demonstrate credibility, what is your expectation? If the three events, as he speaks about, mainly two events, if they happen, and then the president acts on their demand, and his acting on their demand is not positive, as in he doesn't grant their wish, what's your expectation?
Well, if he doesn't, then I would expect that the 80 who really came out publicly, they have a choice to make. Do they still stick with the president, or do they really carry out their quote-unquote threat not to participate in any government business and in the budget deliberation, which the consequences would also not be good given where we are already. I hope that whatever assurances that the president gave them, that the president would follow through on those assurances, that if really to be acted upon means whatever they asked for in terms of the removal of those two persons, that would be given. And if not, there has to be some basis upon which it is not granted. And then now it will be up to them to come back and explain to the public why they made those strong demands and issue those strong statements, and why now they are quote-unquote backtracking. So there are political calculations for both sides, and both sides would have to figure out how this can be quote-unquote a win-win situation for everybody. But I think the MPs are in a very difficult position now, because even for having agreed to wait for this time period after the meeting with the president, already you see certain questions being raised, certain questions being asked, because it looks like you gave us so much hope and now you've taken that hope away. So they are in a very difficult position and have to be very careful about their political calculus, going forward after these two key events.